Welcome to the Fierce Entrepreneur Summit. We're so glad you're here with us tonight. Whether you're live or watching the replay, we want you all to know we appreciate and thank you for your time to be with us. I am Kim White. I'm the founder and fierce leader of the My Sexy Business team and community. And I am joined by the president of the Age Agitators Club, Yvonne Marchese. Yvonne is a nationally recognized branding photographer, author of the book In Full Bloom, A Guide to Aging Playfully, and an amazing podcast host of Late Bloomer Living, which has been going strong for over 4 years and more than 200 episodes. Yvonne, thank you for taking time from your roller skating to help me MC this summit and discussion about clarity, community, and collaboration.
It is a pleasure to be here, even if I am not on my roller skates, but I do have my dancing shoes on. I am ready to dance at any moment, Kim.
This makes me very happy. So, if for nothing more than pure giggles, you guys might want to stick around and see what happens at the halftime show because we are going to rival the Super Bowl. That's what I'm going to say. And since Yvonne's got her dancing shoes on, you never know what this crew around here is going to do. So,
You
there you
never
go.
know.
So we've done a lot of summits, we've done lots of conferences, we've done a lot of things, but the Fierce Entrepreneur Summit is one we do quarterly. So every January, April, July, and October, we come together there's been different iterations for this summit, but I'm a firm believer in the adventure of entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. It is something that if you are not fierce, you are not going to last because you're going to come up against things, you're going to have hard times, it's tough. It is tough. It doesn't mean it's not worth it. It doesn't mean it's not fun a lot of the times, but I am going to say fierce is part of what it takes to be an entrepreneur. In my princess opinion, that's what I think. And when we started this particular series of summits, it was very important to me to highlight the extraordinary things that what other people considered ordinary people were doing. Because alongside building empires, building businesses, I love that this community stands for building a life. So I think that that's part of what I just want to put out into the world tonight, Yvonne, is that's where this came from. That's what this is about for me anyway.
Yeah, and you being the fierce leader that you are of this community have really shown us in the community ways to have our life by having systems in place, by using the community to its best advantage, which is being there for each other so that it is not such a lonely experience.
Being lonely is part of what I experienced when I started. I hate to choke on this, but 42 years ago was my first business. And I look at that and I think it was hard. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have the people, that I have today. I didn't know anybody that was even in business. I felt like I was doing something like almost I, I don't even know if I'm qualified to like do this. Like,
Well, that would probably be why I didn't do it 40 something years ago, Kim, is because I wouldn't have felt qualified. I mean, I give you kudos for the courage that you had to step into it at a young age.
well, I've hit my head more times than most people will ever even try. So let's just say that too out loud that lots of failings, lots of mishaps, lots of just learning. We just had to learn a lot of things. I did. I don't need to say we, it's me. I had to learn a lot of things. But when you're learning something, it can be lonely. So I think the theme for tonight is very important for all entrepreneurs to understand. You don't have to be in it alone. if you're not clear on something, take the time to get clear. Clarity brings speed. The collaboration piece, I'm obsessed with because I think you can grow exponentially in your business when you understand how to collaborate at a high level. So those are I'm going to just say my heartstrings. This is very near and dear to my heart, Yvonne, for all the things I've gone through over the last 4 decades.
Yeah. And I know that this is a heart-driven event for you, that your whole business is heart driven because you want to make things easier for newer entrepreneurs. I was thinking as we're talking about clarity, about something that you and I both say, which is sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. And that's where clarity comes in. Sometimes you need
Mhm.
to slow down to get clear and then go forward. And boy, then things can really get rolling.
Be careful what you ask for because you might get it. That's what I'm gonna say. Well, we do have a roundtable discussion tonight, and let me just say this, Yvonne and I are your MCs, so we're the troublemakers tonight, instigators, all the things. But we have some pretty rowdy crew with us for the roundtable discussion that I want you guys to pay attention who are watching with the things that are being said because this crew is so open and so they take a chance on being vulnerable. I'm going to say that because it is hard. Like it is hard to put yourself out there and not fear judgment or fear, abandonment really like I am not hanging out with you anymore. And so I want you all to be gentle. I'd love for you all to have like the opportunity to comment. We'll do our best to catch the questions and like that all of that. We want you to participate with us. But without further ado, I would like to play the videos for each of the speakers tonight, and then we'll be back to give one little final instruction of Von Marchese. And then
Okay.
to get this party started.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Adam Rothenberg is the interview king, media personality, creator of the Call Me Adam entertainment platform, published author, podcast host, red carpet correspondent, associate producer, and GME roving reporter. Pat Cortado is a proud military veteran, health and wellness professional, founder of Small Space Pilates, movement specialist for injury, illness, and cancer recovery, podcast host, published author, and GME roving reporter. Denise Millay is the findability queen, search marketing consultant, technology simplifier, host of the virtual scavenger hunt, published author, summit leader, and GME roving reporter. Donna Bender is a master givologist, branding product strategist, corporate marketing trainer, published author, host of The Big Show and Tell, summit leader, and GME roving reporter. Linda Bonney is a master storyteller, conversationalist, creative writer, podcast host and producer, published author, summit leader, and GME roving reporter. Jill Olish is the ambassador of moms, founder and leader of the Mama Outspoken Village, published author, podcast host, executive team leader of My Sexy Business, host of the Vision Board Party, associate producer, and GME roving reporter. Yvonne Marchese is the president of the Age Agitators Club, creator of the Aging Playfully Play Shop, podcast host, published author, branding photographer, summit leader, and GME roving reporter. And now it's time for all of them to come up. Is that not fun?
Yay! What a great group they are. Oh my gosh.
So the last instruction we want to give everyone is these are all leaders. Like we could call them each one out for the part that they lead, but you'll find out really quickly they're all leaders. So we're going to throw them up here. We're going to go to the green room, Yvonne, and we're going to let them get this party started with the conversation.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
We are here.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
So let's get this conversation started. Our theme was clarity, community, and collaboration. And we've already started talking a lot about it previous to tonight. So Denise, I know you have been getting some conversations rolling in the community.
I have. And I think it would be great is what has helped. Let's start with clarity, right? Like what does clarity mean to everybody and what's helped you find it?
Way to go, Denise. That's a great question to start with.
Is it too big?
No, I think it's perfect. I'll jump in with an answer of what clarity is to me is getting a better understanding of you and your business and how your business runs and how you can run your business and how you can help your clients, customers, or whoever you're serving. And what was the second part was how.
Let's just stick with what clarity means to us. Let's go with that instead of making this overly complex. So what do you?
That is what it means to me.
Good.
I think that clarity for me was more about, I think of myself on a path. Mm-hmm. And when I'm unclear, the path is unclear. And I have to stop until I understand or become more clear of where I'm going and what I'm doing. And sometimes it's not very apparent. Sometimes you have to stand still for a little while until you get that aha moment where you go, oh, and then the path opens up. It's kind of like one of those movies where you say a secret word and the door opens.
Open sesame, right?
Exactly.
For me, it was so clarity to me is refining what I stand for and what my business can be. Not just having this grand idea, but actually like really getting down to that main focus and refining down who is it that we can help, what problems can we solve, where can we celebrate people, and how can we just be an answer for someone. So really just refining down to that main piece.
Yeah, I hear you. How about you, Donna?
Well, clarity for me is the runway, and it's all the light bulbs going off and the aha moments. And I know that I have spent many years in my business, but as far as where I wanted to go with it, I was not clear. And I think it became important for clarity for so many reasons, but I realized I wanted a personal life.
Mm.
And so
Surprise.
I needed to get clear for my business so I wouldn't waste time doing all the things that I didn't need to do. And then I could have more room, more space to be able to do both. And so that was made clear just by the birth of a granddaughter.
Absolutely. I hear you.
Denise, can I ask a follow-up question?
Please.
When did you know, and this is for the whole group, when that clarity was important to you and your business?
When I realized I didn't have it.
Mm.
No, seriously, when I know I've told this story before, but I was a consultant in a different life. And so I was a very generalist. And to me, that was a great thing in that career because I could do anything or a lot of things. And coming to this, you realize that you really need to be good at one thing that speaks to a group of people that need you. And that was incredibly hard. And once you realize that light bulb goes off, you go, oh, now what am I going to do? That was my wake up call.
I
knew-
didn't know I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
Adam.
you go ahead, Kat.
I was just going to say that I didn't know clarity was part of the whole entrepreneur journey until someone says, asked me, they start to ask you questions. And when I say they, I mean Kim. And then you start to get this picture and you're like, oh, that's what I want. And I want that. And I want that. I knew I wanted a business, but clarity was something I didn't understand until I found what it was I wanted to do, the way I wanted to do it, but then become clear on what my path was as I'm going along.
What were you going to say, Adam?
Something similar to Kat about I didn't really know what clarity was too until a certain somebody was asking me questions and I was giving answers that didn't actually really fit what was being asked of me. And so therefore it forced me to figure out what this person was talking about. It. I don't want to, say any names or anything like Kim, but she was the one. She was the one who was asking me, and when I didn't understand it, or using my word of the year, but I didn't believe her. I had to do some exercises to get me to the understanding of what she was talking about, and to not get me to believe her. Well, yes, to believe her, but also to believe myself.
What comes to me is, my first engagement with Kim and Jill and Adam actually was a webinar that I didn't know how to use the program. And I thought I was very clear. I knew exactly what I was going to do. And it wasn't until I really got down inside and started having those questions proposed to me, did I realize that I had a message. I didn't know how to communicate the message, because I have gone back and I have looked at things I've written in 2005, and it's the same things I want now. I just didn't have a clear path and the clarity of how to get there.
Right.
And so that was another light bulb moment.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I had to get clearer, which was why I like the definition of refining, because of trying to explain things or even pitch in Clubhouse and having many people just confused as to what I was even trying to say, and me not believing it. Adam, just like you were saying, it came across as I tried to speak, no matter where I was. So that is the realization that, hey, maybe I am not too clear on what it is that I want. And then Denise, your piece about the life that you want to live through this, and getting that clarity of, well, I could be doing this amount of work, but is this going to give me the life I want in this general overspray of all this amount of services I could offer, or do I want this refined down where I can still have this much life happening in
Yeah.
there?
Right.
Well, I also think that clarity comes from asking questions, because a lot of times I won't speak for you guys, to ask questions first enough to feel you're safe enough in a community to ask the questions and get an answer. But I think when you continuously ask questions, and that helps you to get more clear about what it is you want to.
So what do you all think, how has community impacted your business and your clarity?
If it wasn't for this community, I don't think I would get the clarity. I don't think I would have the clarity, or I would be getting the clarity that I have been, because I've been in other communities and I don't feel like I've gotten the same clarity, because if I did, I may not be in this community then. So I feel like it's because I'm in here that I'm getting clear on a direction and everything.
You know, you mentioned Clubhouse, and when we were all talking before, that came to mind, is that, you know, all of the time we all spent in Clubhouse every single day for 2 hours every day. And it was like hook by crook, we were there. And and Clubhouse is a online community that was very popular, more so 3 years ago, where there were rooms that you could talk about your business, and find people that you could get in front of, which was another audience that you necessarily couldn't get to. And it just grew and grew and grew. And we spent a lot of time there. And I'll never forget, you know, trying to communicate what it is that I was doing. And if it wasn't for that repetition, if it wasn't for the feedback, if it wasn't of the community, if it wasn't for, you know, doing it over and over again, I don't think I ever would have been clear, because that's the beauty of this community, is the amount of feedback that you can get, you know, where you can't get that in the outside world. Just, you know, you can go into another office and say to somebody, what do you think? But to have a whole group of people helping you and giving you feedback, it's awesome.
But I think you also have to know what you want in a community. I think you have to be in a couple communities that, I'm just going to say it, suck, before you understand that you really, what you really want in a community.
True.
Some people think they can do their business on their own, and they probably can. I'm one of those people that I need community. I need it, but I had to go through a couple of communities that wasn't what I wanted to understand what it was I did want. And even when I first came in this community, and again, Donna had mentioned Clubhouse. If I had never been in Clubhouse and met the majority of you, if not all of you, and been invited into this community, I probably would have said no. But understanding that through that conversation and conversations, that this was a place that, you know, that was, and I'm going to say it, safe for me, where I could get feedback and people could help me to move forward in my business. That I just believe that you have to know what it is you don't want in order to understand the community that you do want.
Wow.
And Kat, one thing I love about you is that you talk about how you were first coming to Clubhouse. And you talk about getting married to entrepreneurship. It was like with Clubhouse, you were having those dates, and then all of a sudden those dates turned into more serious and commitment, and you came to the community, and then that led to this engagement between you and entrepreneurship, where you were like, yeah, I think this is going to work. And you recently got married to entrepreneurship because it is working.
It's going well. It's going well.
Yeah. So I do feel like that is something this community brings out in all of it. It's very supportive. And like you said, Kat, it makes us all feel safe, so we can take those bigger steps forward and more committed steps to our business and our lives. So I think that's great, Kat.
Can I just add one thing? I was not open to feedback. You know, I was like, I was like, I never was exposed to a group of people that was going to give me honest feedback. They weren't just telling me. They weren't just telling me what I wanted to hear.
Mhm.
They
But it was also
actually told
constructive
me
too.
what I want to hear. What?
It was constructive too. I mean,
Right.
it was nobody's climbing over one another to succeed. And so if we think about some of the pillars of what makes a community different, um, I think about the business type of communities that are all talking the metrics and sales and transactional and messaging and all those marketing things. And I think we've turned that all on its head here because we have foundational things in community that bring those other things, that bring clarity to those other things. But if we didn't have a community where we felt safe and we could trust people and nobody's out to get somebody else, So like what are the things that you guys think that we have that's you know, please, Donna.
Allowing us to be melty.
Hmm.
That is something when Kim used to talk about, being melty, I didn't know what it was. I just knew I was going to cry if I had to speak. But it's okay. It's okay to be professional and have a bad day and have a melty moment. And it's all part of life. And so that's another thing that the community has given me is permission to be human, because I also was in corporate America before I started my business. And it was like, suits and everything. And you don't want people to really know who you are because you got to live up to this, image. And, this community helped break that down and allow me to be who I was. I didn't realize I was that funny. So, because I never was able to do it. I never was able to be like that, at work. And so I think it has brought a lot of positive things out of all of us.
Right. And I think that getting feedback from people is to make people better. Feedback is to make people better. It's not to shoot somebody down or anything like that. So I think we get a lot of positive reinforcement and thoughtfulness from people in our community. And I'm sorry, Kat, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say that this community, for me in particular, allowed me to be fierce in a way that fits me. I knew I was fierce, but I wasn't going to tell anybody else I was fierce. And it wasn't until, Kim in a clubhouse room and I was feeling myself a little bit. And I said, I was the freaking fabulous Kat Hurtado. And she kept making me say it. And I'm like, why does she keep making me say this? And then you start to believe it and you start, okay, in this community, you can have an idea and people are like, oh, that sucks. You're not going to do that. But then we're able to break it down. You
Right.
guys are really good at saying, hey, what about this? Add this to the, and so then you start formulating and you start feeling, I am an entrepreneur. That's why I got married to the word. I'm like, I'm finally an entrepreneur, but I'm also fierce as a person. I'm fierce as an entrepreneur. I'm a really good friend. I sound like I'm selling myself, but I'm not. I'm just.
I think.
Oh, go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Kat. I didn't realize you weren't done. Continue.
No, I was just saying that it allows us to bring our personality out and bring our fierceness to the table in such a way that it helps all of us, because we all learn, even though we might be helping Donna or Denise or Adam or even Jill, we all learn from that experience. And that's what I love about this community is that, you could be helping one entrepreneur in particular, but I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. And I'm writing little notes. So this community helps all of us all at the same time.
I agree with everything you were saying, especially about the part about the believing in yourself, which is why my word of the year is believe. And it's going to be my word for 2025 too. Because I always believed that I was good at what I did too, and that I should have the success that I envisioned in my mind. But until I came into this community, I don't feel like, I'm trying to think how to say this. It was like, because of this community of showing me, I needed to be shown myself about everything that I believed. I needed other people to show me that it was true. And through this community of what I've learned, it has shown me that what I believed about myself all those years ago is true. And I also just love, I want to say real quick, how Donna, you've really leaned into that fun side of yourself. And I mean, if you watching have not seen any of her videos on GME or her Big Show and Tell, where she dresses up to give a better understanding about giving gifts on wacky holidays, you have to like do that. And because you've leaned into it, I think it has helped all of us see that you can get your point across while having fun, and you don't have to stand there and go, this is how you do it, like a robot. So
I've noticed that everybody has more fun now. I have noticed. Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
I think this community specifically, but community in general, when it comes to our business, is a, when we find the right one, can be a safe space for us to find clarity in ourselves and who we are. And that's what I hear each of you actually saying, is that this has been a safe space for you to grow into your confidence and be relational in your businesses and with the community too, because we could sit here in the community not talking to each other at all, just trying to work on our business, but we're here collaborating with each other, helping each other find more about ourselves, giving each other the feedback to grow and grow ourselves while watching each other grow.
Mm-hmm.
I love that growth from community gives you this growth. It gives you the confidence, it gives you trust factors to step out and find points of collaboration. And whether that's workshopping with someone on language for something they're trying to write, or whether it's an official collaboration to do something together, like to have a stream once a week or something, or a podcast, or we've learned so much about ourselves plus other people that it makes all that easier. So I would love to hear what you all think about collaboration. Like, what does it mean to you to collaborate? What has it brought you, and what do you feel like you get? What's it mean?
I don't know about anybody else. I didn't want to collaborate with anybody. I don't want to play with anybody else, just myself. But as I've gotten better as an entrepreneur in my business, you start to see the possibilities of collaboration, that maybe you're not collaborating right now, but it opens that door, especially knowing what's involved with being in a collaboration with someone, what to know, what to do, and then seeing, is this still a good fit? And so I'm more open to collaboration now, and because it's fun. It can be fun. It doesn't have to be just business. It can be something just, getting together and doing something that's really, a lot of fun. So I think that collaboration with the right person is magic.
I've learned that there's different kinds of collaboration. Before coming into this community, I had it set in my mind that the only kinds of collaborations out there are the kinds, say, where you do a joint TV show together or something like that. But being in this community, I see there are so many branches to collaboration. And I feel like I have a collaboration with, I think, everybody in this community in one form or another. And I did not have that viewpoint before coming in. It's like Kat said this morning on Good Morning Entrepreneurs during your Military Minute segment about how you can, somebody can talk to you and it can change your mind. Well, being in this community and hearing and seeing and being shown all the different ways to collaborate did change my mind. So it has been very helpful.
Sorry, it was a collaboration, the word that we're talking about now, right?
Yeah.
So I love collaborating, and collaborating, comes in so many different forms. And in order for me to grow my business, I had to introduce people to each other, and my Rolodex would go off. Who do I know? And I think I shared that I'm really excited about the fact that I have met some people outside of the community where, they need this community to share their words of wisdom, because we all do something else. And, my dream would be having a collaboration with all of us, and collaborating online, and collaborating with an outside organization, because we all have specialties, and I think that more people need to know. So I just love collaborating.
Kat, I think I was in the same boat as you, as not wanting to collaborate, mainly because I didn't know what it entailed. Not a clue. Like, I think for me, the most I ever knew about it was seeing things on social media, let's collaborate, and it not really being a true collaboration and a safe collaboration for both parties. So it wasn't until obviously being in some masterminds and then being voluntold to start a collaboration that, we had to just do it, just to, jump out of the nest and try to fly, because, what other way are you going to learn other than to try your hand at it? And starting a podcast with Linda Bonney, who's not here tonight, probably was the best way to learn how to do a collaboration with a plan. So we were protecting ourselves and our relationships. And I think that's super important to keep in mind, is that we got to, protect the relationship with the other person that we are getting into collaboration with. And that was probably not the first thing on my mind when getting into a collaboration, that, what if we ruin this relationship? So I'm really glad that there is something in place to protect that. And I wouldn't know that without this community.
And as an aside, Jill, you have to define voluntold.
Oh, goodness. Yes, voluntold. Oh my gosh, that is being volunteered, but being told at the same time in the community.
Right. So we have our own vocabulary around here, and that's one of the words that we get to use, is we've been voluntold that we need to do something. So collaboration brings so many benefits, but it is stressful. And it can, make you fearful. But it also was always presented to me as like a joint venture or a affiliate relationship. And it was always money and transactional and build your list and all these other business things, which are important, really important as a business owner. That's what we're here for. But boy, there was no safety in that at all. And I think we've all learned that by talking upfront about outcomes and who you're doing it with, what's it for, and how do we measure this, it makes it a lot safer. So I think there's safety in community for us, and trust. And we also get to try things out. See if
Denise, can I piggyback on something that you just said? Is when, collaboration, like when you're talking about it, always involved money, and it was scary. It was this thing where you're like, I don't know you. I don't know anything about what this collaboration is. But it also opens the door in this community of learning what collaboration looks like, that when you are not in this community, but you might be somewhere else, to recognize opportunities to collaborate with other people, and in knowing what questions to ask to keep yourself safe, to keep your business safe, and to protect both. And, if you decide to collaborate with someone, that you're both in a safe place so that you can do the collaboration.
Great point, Kat. Great point. What else do you guys feel about collaboration? Do you feel like you can just try it outside, or you feel more comfortable in the community?
I haven't gotten to the point where I would want to try it outside the community yet again. For where I'm at, I'm not there yet.
Well, how do you feel about what you have to do to collaborate? Does it have to be a gigantic thing or a project or?
No, it doesn't. But I will say the biggest takeaway I have gotten from collaboration in this community is when Kim has talked about putting together a breakup plan, because if I had a breakup plan in my previous collaborations, maybe my friendships with the collaborators that didn't work out wouldn't have been strained, and we would still all, I would still be friends with everybody.
Right. And it can be small things too.
Yeah.
It can be volunteering for a project and doing a little piece of it for a charitable thing, and you just get used to talking to people and dealing with how people operate too. So,
That's how I will say Linda and I started with the podcast, that we set a limit first to start with, just 13 weeks. I mean, we felt that was good. If after 13 episodes of a podcast, we could just let it sit if we decided it wasn't a good fit. And if we decided to keep going, we could just renew that 13-week, let's check back in. And now it's going on almost 2 years this year will be. So it can start super small and grow into a long-term thing. And then I think just even starting that way gets your feet wet and gets you comfortable on how to navigate those plans and build a good plan and a system where you can bring it outside of that safe space to the big old corporate world and entrepreneurs outside of that, and talking to building new relationships through other collaborations.
That's great. Now, Kat, you have a collaboration with your salty sister. How did you guys start that out?
It started as a conversation. And at first we had talked about it being a podcast, but we all know how much work goes into a podcast. And we both, Yvonne and I, both love to talk because we're both podcast hosts. And we said, we started kind of just chatting about it. And we started doing it. We said, this is what we want it to look like. We check in with each other. Is this still fun for you? Do you still want to do it? And we've been, I don't know how long it's been. How long has it been, Yvonne? Has it been a year, over a year? I can't remember now, but it's still fun. We still talk about the, things that we think are relevant to midlife people in general. But we have a good time. It's not this straight-laced kind of thing. We're goofy. We have fun. We laugh, but we also talk about subjects that people can learn from. So it's been a great collaboration. And it also helps me to understand what I want in a collab. And I know that all collaborations can't be fun like that, but it has to be a collaboration that I feel like, there's equal work being done.
Right.
And, that it's going to be something that's going to benefit the both of us. I don't want to be in a collaboration where I feel as though I'm doing all the work and then someone else gets, oh, look what I did. And I'm like, wait, whoa, I'm over here. I help too.
You're so fun. Well, I think that I look around the stage and I see that all of you guys are confident and yourselves. You're like, I know you all. So I know that you're real people, and your real people shows wherever you populate, wherever you are. And I think that's one of the joys of this community is we get to be who we are. And we're all different. We're in different businesses. But what do you guys think about that? Do you feel like you're I hate to use this word because it sounds terrible, but authentic person because of the community? Or do you feel like that's where you always were?
Can I just say I tried being someone else and it just didn't work out for me. It was too confusing. I'm at a place in life, I think, where I'm okay if you don't like me. Because when being much younger, I felt like you're supposed to like me. Why don't you like me? And now I'm at a point where I think someone who we all know had said that not everyone's your flavor, and to be okay with that. And I have finally come to terms with that. And this is me. You either like me or you don't. If you don't, it's okay. But if you do, let's have some fun.
Well, what do you think, Jill? Let's wrap up this section here. And what do you think about community and your authentic self?
Yeah, it's definitely allowed me to open up a lot more. Although I will say there have been some pretty big life things that have happened while being in this community. So I've had to find an identity to begin with. So being an entrepreneur is now part of my identity, and this community has helped me figure out how that fits in with me as Jill, mom, and everything else that I tack on to my roles.
So you can bring them all to the table.
Yeah.
How about
And
you?
I would agree.
Got
Oh,
it.
sorry.
No, go ahead, Donna.
No, I said I would agree that I think I'm my most authentic self in this community, to the point where I don't think people on the outside who, pre-COVID understands as much. And so, yeah, I think to answer that question, the community has helped me become even more authentic.
What do you say, Adam?
I think I'm the same authentic person I was before coming into the community. I will say being in here has definitely boosted my confidence more in certain ways. So maybe, I don't know if that's allowed me to be more authentic, but I feel like I'm the same person that I was. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I feel like I was the same person I was before coming to the community. I just have more confidence in areas that I didn't have before coming in.
That's awesome. Yeah. I feel like it's easier for me to share all the sides of me as opposed to just the forward-facing business face, so you guys get to see my full geekness, and I get great feedback from you all. And I know that's the great part of community too, is we get great feedback from everybody, and it really does help, opens your heart. So.
Actually, Denise, I think what I will say is you just mentioned something about instead of just being forward fronting, I would say I have been able to become more authentic through the community because I've been able to talk about some of the hardships that have happened or some of the trials and tribulations I've gone through. And I don't think I had that. I would hide that stuff more so before coming to this community. Whereas now I can be like, yes, I'm having a rough time with this, or I have to push this project back again or something. So that's how this community has helped with that.
Yeah, I agree. And you guys have been great. I love all your feedback and input here. And I think we're looking forward to the next go round.
Yes, Denise, I think we are. Thank you so much for your questions that you've brought to the table today. And I think we have a very fun halftime show that we are about to head out to.
We'll see you on the other side.
Yes.
So here we go. That was a little awkward, but we're okay with it. What a great conversation, Yvonne.
What a great conversation. Wow. They, as I was listening, I started writing down notes about the words that kept coming up over and over, about the theme I noticed from everybody was this idea of being able to not become more themselves, but show more of themselves in safe community, and maybe even getting to know themselves a little bit better. I know that's been true for me as well. And one of the things I do love about this community is that I feel seen and loved. You all know I'm salty and you still seem to like me. So, it is that. And I'm glad to know that that has been the experience for everybody. It's like learning about ourselves together.
Very good. And I will say we like you and we love you. I think there's a difference, and I think we need both. Let me just put that out there. I love the question that was asked about when did you know clarity? And I'm looking at my notes, by the way. I'm not ignoring anyone. But when did you know clarity was important? And I thought, wow, what a question. Because we talk about clarity all the time, but when did you realize it actually mattered? Like, when did you have that
It's a
light bulb
great
moment?
question. And I think too that as I was thinking, how would I answer that question and listening to other people's answers, um, I think it's a constant process of getting clarity. You think you're clear, and then you find out that you're not clear as maybe you want to be. And that's what was the missing puzzle piece there. Now I'm clear. And then again, you go through some more growth and you get clear again.
I think it's an evolution and an iteration thing. Like, we do get clearer as we go along, and we're open to it. I absolutely adore Donna Bender sharing that she didn't want feedback because that's been a common theme for lots of people that have been in the community. They don't want feedback. They want to talk, but they don't want anyone questioning what they're saying, but they're not clear enough to have success if they don't have that feedback.
It's
So
vulnerable
it
to
is
open yourself
vulnerable.
up to that kind of feedback. And I think the reason we're able to do it in this community is because it is safe, because the feedback comes from a place of love and wanting each other to succeed. We genuinely support each other in this community, which is why it feels safe.
Well, I love it, and I love the fact that because she finally felt safe, Kat got married to entrepreneurship. That's one of my favorite stories because it was a big deal. It is intimidating. Like, if you're watching and you're kicking around the idea of becoming an entrepreneur, we don't wanna scare you off. We actually wanna give you insight so you don't run off when it gets hard,
Yeah.
because the adventure is an adventure. It is not, just this even thing that goes on. It is exciting, and it's fun, and it's hard, and it's all the emotions. It's all of the different things.
You will never learn so much about yourself as you will as an entrepreneur, and how much more fun to do it in community with people. That's where the safety comes in and it's less lonely. And I love too that Donna talked about, coming from corporate, coming from the fashion world and all that, and having to have a barrier up, and how she's learned what she didn't even realize she was funny. I can't even believe it. Now she shows up in turkey costumes and Einstein, and she is so hilarious. And I love that she's been able to show up as the real Donna Bender please stand up, How amazing.
So Donna Bender just let us give you this little information tidbit. Fun factoid, as Donna would say. July 4th of 2023, Donna actually started a dance craze that has gone across the nation, actually across the world, I guess. The Donna. So this is the Donna crew around here. We giggle because Donna is extremely professional. Let's just be clear about that. She is extremely professional.
She knows
She
her stuff, man. She knows her stuff.
But how fun it is to watch her let that guard down, and it helps other people, because I think that's what happens when we do something. We're contagious. The permission to be human was something Donna said, and I think permission to be human for each one of us is important, and it looks a little different for everybody. But if I give myself permission to be human, then you don't feel like you have to put on a face to be around me, because I'm going to judge you. I'm not judging anybody. I'm trying to learn my own life. Like, that's the important part I think about this community is no judgment, of the none of the harsh things. If you have a question, ask until you're clear. Like, those are important things in this community. So I want to do a little, I'm going to call it Puppy and Pony Show, Yvonne. I want us to share some things for everyone that is participating. We have a little video halftime show that it is loud, it is busy, it is all the things. So if you don't already know about this community, I'm just going to say we're a rowdy bunch, and you're going to see that in this video. So we are trying to rival the Super Bowl, y'all. Vote for us. That's what I'm going to say. Vote for us. I love all those fun videos, I have to say.
So fun. So fun. That music just gets you going.
This is a rowdy crew around here, and we just want to mention a few things. Yvonne, I think that highlighting everyone and all their funness and all the different things that they do, that I just think it's really important for everyone watching to understand, like, connecting with all of y'all. Like, I'm gonna say that, and I am giggling. I did post in the private chat that, um, mine was supposed to be cut out. I had done that in the original, like, time I had done it. I had done that as an example because I couldn't get anybody to play with me and understand what I was doing, and then I see it tonight, and I'm like, "Ah!" So, let me just say that. But the the part that I love about each person is the generosity. Like, every one of the people that you see tonight are very much heart-centered. They're
Completely. Yes.
generous and loving and kind and all of those things. Not to be mistaken with making an income is a bad thing because you have to make an income to stay in business.
I love that is really what you're teaching me. I'll say that that's one of the main things I'm learning from you, Kim, is like, if I'm going to keep going, making money would be a good thing, you know? It's because I tend to come from all heart centered, you know, and I mean, if you're having fun watching this, if you're enjoying this conversation, then these people are your flavor. And if you're a business owner and you aren't allowing yourself to be seen, you're that that keeps people from really connecting with you. You're right people, you know? And that's why I love these videos, because it really does show each person's personality.
I love it. Everyone that you see tonight is a speaker. Most are podcasters. Most are speakers on stages.
Authors.
Authors, every one of like, everyone you see on the stage has a book. Like, there are so many things that the work has gone into to do the things to help other people, because each one of these people on this stage are a solution. And you watching, you are a solution to someone. If you're not clear enough to make somebody understand what that solution is, that's what we're suggesting and having this conversation about tonight is be that clear solution for someone who needs you. They're waiting for you to show up. And I am proud of this whole crew for showing up tonight to have a conversation in the face of, if there are trolls out there, if there are people judging, if there are people that are, gossiping because we're coming together and doing this. But guess what? Those are the people that we can't help. We're showing up for the ones we can.
Right.
We're showing up for the ones that we can be an example for, and that we can be living proof that you can have a life and a business, that you can have fun while you're doing business. You can be the real you. Like, there's so many, I think, examples from the first session conversation. And I'm going to rat our peeps out in the green room, because that's what I do. I am loving the conversation that they're having. Don't even think we're paying attention to. That's the funny. But they're having a whole conversation about how to literally collaborate for the next session that it's about to start. And let's have this conversation. Let's not forget to say this, or let's not forget to ask this. And this is what makes my heart swell up so proud, is that they want to be the best they can be for y'all. So if you're watching and someone resonates with you, I'm going to challenge you tonight to connect with them, because we have everyone's speaker sheets, all the things they do. We have all the things that they're giving away tonight. We haven't even talked about that, Yvonne. Everybody gives away all kinds of things for this. And
Where do people find out what people are giving away, Kim? Where can they go?
so they go to mysexybusiness.com, and I'm laughing because I just lost the /. So if you lovelies in the green room could give me the /, there it is, FES. I'm like, I am not even sure at this very moment. There you go for being human.
So mysexybusiness.com /FES, like
FES.
Fierce Entrepreneur Summit.
There you
Got
go.
it. Got it. All right.
Takes a village, y'all, to like keep this princess intact. So thank you, Yvonne, and thank you for posting the banner. Whichever one of the crew did that, like y'all all just worked together and made me so proud. So
You guys have no idea how much button pushing goes on behind the scenes. I don't push any of the buttons, but somebody's back there doing it. I feel like the wizard behind the curtain over here. I'm not pushing any buttons. I'm just like, oh, it's amazing the collaboration that happens to make this event happen. And we do this quarterly. And you guys put in so much planning ahead of time to do this and bring it to people. And I think that is amazing. There's an example of collaboration that's just right here.
There you go. Thank you, Yvonne.
Yeah.
That was a very good one. Well, speaking of collaborating, it's going to be awkward for a moment because, except this time, I'm going to tell y'all are going to talk whenever you first get on the stage this time. So be ready, because the Puppy and Pony Show, we're going back to the green room.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, buttercraft.
All right, that was a smoother transition.
Well, and so much for us not talking. So let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I have a question for the group. I know that there are people watching live and maybe even on the replay, probably on the replay, who are either entrepreneurs or they're thinking about a business, starting a business. How would you explain clarity to a brand new either entrepreneur or someone who's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur?
Mm.
Go for it, Donna.
I had to find the mic first. That's a great question, Kat, because there's no point in leaving your job in corporate America and become an entrepreneur if you're not clear about what it is you want to do. Now, it doesn't mean you have to know all the steps. It doesn't mean you have to have all the answers, but you have to have an idea of what you want to do, and you need passion. Because if you're not passionate about what it is you want to do, in order to just decide to leave corporate America one day and start your own business, you must have passion. It could be just a great idea, and there's nothing wrong with great ideas, but the passion is the thing that's going to help drive you. So that's my answer.
That's a great answer, Donna.
Anybody I love else? That. I think passion is incredibly important. I also think you have to be honest and patient with yourself. You have to really choose what speaks to you, and whether it's passion or just belief in yourself and what you're strong at, what you believe in. And that foundation helps you build a business. It's not like you have to have the whole plan. They say business plan and all those things. You don't have to have it all. You just have to have that foundational piece that you believe in, that you can speak to and feel confident
in. My answer for how I would explain clarity, I think, comes back to what we opened with. And what is it that you want? Like, get really clear with it. The plan. What is your plan for your end goal? Like, if you're looking down the line, what is that? What do you want to achieve down the line? How clear can you get with yourself on what it is that you want your day to look like when you've reached everything? So then work backwards. And that's where you can get that clarity of where are you going to go with your business.
And I would say clarity, I would just quote the Zed song, "You're my clarity." And that is how I would explain it.
I love that, Adam. I think to piggyback on what Denise was talking about, I tend to think about your why. When you talk about passion, it's your why. And people say, well, I want to be a coach. Okay, why? Well, I want to, and you keep asking, okay, why? I want to be a coach who helps people. Okay, why do you want to be a coach who helps people? And you keep niching it down. And so you come with this sentence where you go, whoa. And every time you get stuck in business, that's what I go back to. But it's also helping me be clear. I knew what I wanted. I just didn't know how to get there. I knew what I wanted to look like. I didn't know how to do it. So I think you can be clear in your mind of what it is. Not all the little niches and everything, you're going to learn that. But having that why, that whenever you want to quit in business, and you will have those days when you want to quit, when you look at that, that's your passion. Your why is your passion. Your passion fuels your clarity, and it keeps you moving.
I love that. Passion feeds your clarity. That's a bumper sticker, Kat.
I know. Is that a mic drop? Maybe.
Passion is your why, and passion fuels your clarity. That was a whole string there.
Oh, wow. I said all that. That's pretty cool.
There's
Okay.
a replay. There's a replay.
Wasn't paying attention. Great job, guys.
Love it. Well, Kat, going off of what you said, like, I don't know, this community has been the way for me to get that in those steps. Without everyone here on the stage and participating tonight, like, you guys asked those questions, the why, the how, the what are you going to do next? Where are you going to go with that? Without someone asking me those questions, I won't ask them of myself. So that's important for me out of community. But there's just so much that is important to us in community. So why is it important for us to be a part of a community?
I'll say that it gives you a support system that I don't feel like I could get the same support system from that I've gotten in this community, that I could get it from someone on the outside, because even though we all have different businesses, we all have that same mindset of entrepreneurship. And I don't feel like you can just talk to anybody about what it's like to be an entrepreneur or the struggles you're having in your business. You can't just talk about that to anybody. So that's why I feel like it's important to be in a community.
I agree, Adam. I also think it's important because, well, for all of us here, nobody can tell you what it's like until you do it. It's kind of like having a child. You think you know what it is until you have one, or getting married, or being in a live-in relationship, and you think you know what it's going to be. And then you get there and you're like, oh, I had no idea. But nobody could have told you that from the outside, because right? So you have a community where you can share that, oh my gosh, craziness when it happens. It's like you can really kind of go, oh, I had no idea I was going to be challenged with this or with this or with this.
I see collaboration brewing. I see the collaboration handbook for entrepreneurs that we can all collaborate on.
All right, I think Kim has her homework set out for her.
Seriously, there's so much, truth and value, and because we've all gone through it and we all experience it. And I think it would be a little handy dandy thing to have, but that's my 2 cents.
I think community's important because anyone looking from the outside will look at all of us and think that we knew everything we were doing from day one up until now. And they don't realize that there are days when I'm not sure I want to be an entrepreneur that day. When everything I've tried to do as an entrepreneur that day just didn't work. My brain wasn't working. I can't type an email because I'm making all kinds of mistakes. I'm trying to, find ideas for whatever, and the ideas aren't flowing. I think having a community where I can say, today sucked and here's why. This, and this. And everybody's going to go, yep, been there, done that. And so you get me. You understand what kind of day I've had, and you get it. And you're like, yep, it's going to pass. Just breathe. It's going to pass. I think if I was an entrepreneur by myself, I would quit. I would just quit. I would say, I can't do this. I'm going to quit, because there's no one saying it's okay to have these kinds of days. And so I think that's what's important for me as being part of it, as being part of not just any community, but this community.
I love that, Kat. That's amazing. You're so right. I'd be out of here if I wasn't with all of us. See ya.
Kat, there'll be days like these. There'll be days like these. Just so you know.
But nobody tells you that, Adam.
I'm telling you that.
Yeah. And you're right. But as a new entrepreneur, you're excited. You have all the gung-ho, I want to do it. And then you have one day where your website crashes for whatever reason. And you're just like, I'm done. But in a community like this, you're able to, okay, let's figure out what happened. And so you've got people, Adam could help me. Anybody on this stage could help me, to say, let's figure this out. Let's get you back up and running so that you can do what you were made to do as an entrepreneur.
You have a support system. It's like you have a built-in support system, and we can, I think we all feel comfortable reaching out to any of us individually to ask for help with something. And in other communities, I feel like it can be maybe frowned upon if you're asking for help, not from the leader of the community, but in this community, I feel like it's encouraged to ask other people, because quite honestly, Kim might not be available one day. And if you're waiting and waiting and waiting for her to get back to you, she may not be able to get back to you that day, but knowing that you can reach out to any one of us in this community and ask a question and get an answer, it's so comforting to know that, and that we're all here for each other. I think that's one of the greatest things too about this community, is that we are all here for each other, not only in business, but in life. We're always checking in with each other to see how we all are doing.
But I think, Adam, to piggyback on what you said, is that we care about each other. We care about showing up. I might have, 8 different things I have to be at, and I will cancel one of those to come to one of y'all's things. I'm just going to say. And that's part of the community is caring about the people that are here.
Yeah. And I have 2 communities, but it's really my village, I might have a mom village, but I also have my entrepreneurial village. Like, you guys are who I can go to for exactly what you were saying, Adam. And Kat, this week was a hard week for me, but, I had support from the community around that. So, and from my Sexy Business team. So I don't have to try and save face, I think. And you could be living proof in a community. And, everyone, when you find that right community, is going to be just that, part of your village. And hey, sometimes running a business takes a village. So,
and it's part of your life. You guys have become a part of my life. And my husband calls y'all my second family. We're, isn't it time to be with your he tells me, don't you have mastermind? I'm like, No, it's a holiday. He's like, are you sure? He calls you guys my other family, and that's what it feels like.
I got that too, Kat. My husband's like, don't you have class tonight? I'm like, no.
And we do need to be, we're chatting here and extolling all the virtues of this wonderful community we're in. We also have to remind people that we do like other people too.
Yes.
Please come and visit us go to My Sexy Business website, and there's a bunch of free things you can go to come and spend time with us and watch our show on Fridays and connect with us, please, because we are open to people. We like other people too. We just like to have fun with ourselves, and we'd love to have you come and join us. So,
But Denise, I think it's important though for people to understand who are watching or listening what we get out of this community, so that maybe they can go and recognize some things in a community for themselves, because I didn't know what I wanted in a community. I had no clue. So I think
until
it's
you have the
important.
bad
for us to
side,
talk
it's hard
about
to
that.
know how good this is.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
we've talked about flavor, and we're all each other's flavor here. And where we want others who find commonality with us and find us to be their flavor, it doesn't mean that you have to find us to be your flavor. But if you find a group like Kat, you were saying, look for something that feels like this, that we're showing in something that is your flavor, because you can find a community out there. There are good communities to be a part of.
I think community is amazing, and it's done so much for me. I'm wondering, how does being virtual, how has it affected your view and feeling about community? Because we're all virtual, right? We've all met once in person for 3 years, right?
I will say being virtual, there's a lot of aspects I love about being virtual, in that I can show up 2 minutes before I have to be somewhere, and most of the time I can show up in my pajamas, and that's like the best thing ever. I will say the one thing I feel like being virtual all of the time does make me not want to go out into the real world as much. Like, I love being home, so it does take an extra effort for me to go out of the house to do something, or it just psychologically I have to on ramp or get myself ready to actually go out into the real world. But I don't know, I also love getting a peek inside everybody's world without having somebody to tell me something, because I can see it on my camera.
One of the things that prior to COVID, I was always out and about, always having meetings, networking things. And, one meeting is at least 3 hours of your time. You got to get ready, you got to drive there, you have the meet, and then you come back. So it's probably even more than that. And, I didn't understand at first what the benefits of having virtual meetings are. And it is amazing. I mean, yes, you can wear your pajamas, at least the bottom part. And so it's a very short commute from my kitchen to my computer, my bedroom to my computer, my office to turn on my computer. And I think that it gives you, seriously, when you think about 3 hours for a meeting, those 3 hours, what you get back and how much more you can accomplish. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out and meet with people, but on a day-to-day basis, the majority of my time is virtual. So
I love the
I'm sorry, Jill, go ahead.
I love the flexibility of it. I have a toddler at home. It's the whole point of me becoming an entrepreneur, is to be able to work from home with him, and to be able to not have to go out taking him with me or finding the childcare. I can be in community while he takes a nap or while someone else in my house is watching him. So that flexibility of online, I still miss, a person. There's an energy that comes when you are with someone in presence. But I can get that when I'm with the really great community virtually as well. So I like the flexibility a lot.
I don't think I had a problem with being virtual. I was in another community for veterans, and we had started doing virtual online meetings. So when COVID happened, I was like, oh, I've already done this before. But I think for this community and it's almost a chain, because we talked about it before, where we went from Clubhouse and then we're here. And then we finally got to meet. And when we met, I wasn't meeting a stranger. I was meeting people I knew. And that's something that is very, I don't know, it fills my cup. It feels good, to finally see in person that person you've been chatting with for months or maybe even a year or longer, and you get to meet in person. That's such a special, I think, experience.
And on that point, Kat, where would we have met somebody from Australia, in our everyday world, if it were for, having virtual meetings? Or even Kat, you're on the other side of the country. I never would have met you. And so when you think about how much our virtual world has given us to develop this community, it's so impactful.
Absolutely. I agree, Donna.
And I love the short commute. I do. Someone said, oh, can we meet at? And I'm like, can't we just meet online? That's just me.
It's cold out. I don't want to go out today. But, oh, wait. I was actually going to switch topics for a second, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Okay, because it's kind of speaking about collaboration and clarity, which we were talking about earlier. How has collaboration given you clarity?
I will say that collaboration has given me clarity because it's helped me practice being what I think I want to be, and hone my own skills through repetition and speaking it out loud. I think that sometimes you have to explain it to somebody, and then you have to actually go do it, and it's experiential, I guess, and that's really, really helped me a lot.
I like that, Denise. I mean, it's true. It is it's a platform and the foundation for testing new waters. And, somebody can come up with an idea and then, oh yeah, that's really good. Why don't we do blah, 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 blah. And then it just mushrooms. And so I think that when you're working with someone or side by side with someone, there's another point of view. And I think that having that, or one person, two people, give you your feedback, give you their impression, can really take something that you thought was going in one direction, and then now maybe they had a better idea of where to take it. So I think that collaboration can really help with clarity.
I agree with all of what you guys have said. I think that, you have to be able to speak it. So when you have the Clubhouse rooms and Kim always says, oh, it sounds great in your head. And then you say it to someone and they're like, well, you didn't say what date it was going to be. You didn't say where you were going to meet. You're going to be like, oh, well, I know all that. You have to verbally speak about it. I think, collaboration is discussing things, discussion, talking it out. And I think through talking it out, you become more clear on everything. I mean, how many of us had, that, what do they call that, 30-second elevator speech? Not me. I didn't have one. I was like, well, I kind of do this and I kind of do that. Now it's like, boom, boom, done. This is what I do. So I think for me, collaboration and with you guys and collaboration in general, speaking things out loud, because I'm a talker. I don't know if y'all could tell. Writing things down does not help me become more clear, but speaking about things helps me to be clear, because I can say something and it makes sense in my mind and somebody else get questioned. I'll think, oh, okay. I didn't think about it that way. So that's how it's been clear for me.
I like that the Not Creepy Room is a good place to collaborate on brainstorming and wordsmithing to get clarity on what it is that we want to talk about, and how to present ourselves. And I think also through collaboration, I've discovered clarity in what I don't want. And I think as we continue to grow in a collaboration project, and we can get a lot more clarity about where the direction of that project will be going, and figure out, well, maybe we don't want to go this way, but maybe we want to go this way with it next. So I think we can get a lot of clarity as we continue to grow.
And I think that we've mentioned that we've gotten clarity from the Not Creepy Room, but if you don't know what the Not Creepy Room is, it is our room on Clubhouse, the audio app that we host every Wednesday. And that is a place where you can come and you can practice your pitch, offer, intro, so you can hear what it sounds like to other people. And there's a group of us on stage providing feedback to let you know what it sounds like after you have said it. It's a very safe environment, and it takes place every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Central Time on the Clubhouse audio app. Just look for the My Sexy Business House and come join us. We are going to have a room next Wednesday, and we would love to have you there to help you get that practice.
So I have a question, if you don't mind me asking. I know this is not above our lines, because we're talking about, we can't do everything every quarter that we want to do. But is there anything that you would like to collaborate on this year? Is there anything that you can think of, or an idea? Doesn't mean we have to do it, but every idea takes some water and people nurturing it, and it can definitely grow. As I say, it's not above our line. And to explain that to people who are watching, we all want to do so many different things. And Kim has an exercise that we all go through called mapping. And you can list everything you possibly want to do, but you can't do everything you possibly want to do well if you're putting them all out there. And so the idea is to take a few things that you could do well and keep the things that you want to do. And once you get those things right, then bring up something else. So that's the only that's why I'm explaining it, because I'm sure that I want to collaborate with someone was not on above the line for everybody.
Well, I'll answer that one first. I think that what I am gelling about is we all do different things. We're all in different businesses. I don't think there's one of us that's a crossover of the same industry or the same business we're creating. And we have all so much knowledge to share. So I kind of want to do interviews with everybody, and so that we can share them on YouTube and videos and things to kind of help get our message out a little bit more. So I think that's where I'm heading collaboration wise, is I want to work with people to create real content, as opposed to just talking about stuff, is talking to people. So it's my idea.
I was going to go right to the point, of course. Right when you said, what do you want to collaborate on? I mean, it's not above my line either for this year, but I do want to write a song with somebody. I have I have lyrics to a song that I wrote many years ago. I have no idea how to put it to music, and it's a song I just feel like so many people could relate to that I want to do that. And it feels like completely a little bit outside of what I do, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while.
That's awesome, Adam. Yes, and I was reminded that handy dandy guide about for entrepreneurs is a collaboration that is below the line, but could happen in this community.
You might have been voluntold to
Yes,
do the collaboration book, Donna.
I think I was, but you know what? I have to tell you that to me, and I'm not putting a lot of effort into it now. It could be really enjoyable. Because we are all sharing about all the things that come to mind being an entrepreneur. And I find that I never had this when I decided to go into business. You know, I was in corporate America and I decided I wanted a baby. And so I decided I was going to start a children's clothing line. I mean, nobody said to me, Donna, what are you thinking? You know, like, let's talk it out. So the fact that we can help, you know, people who are on the borderline or teetering about whether to leave, whether to start a business, I think is a great opportunity for us to share, you know, through our handy dandy guide.
Well, to answer your question, Donna, my collaboration that I'm looking to do this year is to not start a new one, but to see where the current one can go. So Linda and we're going to hit 100 episodes on our podcast, and we're looking to see where do we want to go next. So not necessarily do we want to start a new collaboration this year, although you may have just roped me into one in this conversation. I want to see how we can go further this year. So that's my plan.
Congratulations, 100 episodes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh gosh, where are we going now? Oh, Kat, you had a great question on the break we were talking about. Do you remember?
Yeah, I wanted to answer Donna's question. I don't think I got a chance to answer her question. That's okay. I think that I really want to, for anyone who's watching, I'm a military veteran, and I would really love to go to veteran businesses and do a live podcast with the owner, you know, talk to them about their business and really, you know, get people to know what their business is. Because when you hear business owner, you don't also think, well, they're also a veteran. And there are a lot of female veterans who are starting businesses. And I would love to highlight them in their place of business, you know, finding out what they do, why they do it. And yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
That's an awesome idea.
And I don't know what my other question was.
I know what your question was. If Denise doesn't, do you have it, Denise?
Go for it, Adam.
Kat's other question was, is it necessary to collaborate with other entrepreneurs to help your business?
I'm stuck on the word necessary.
Well, you're being told in the green room.
I am great. Yeah. Oh, I guess I missed that. But repeat the question again, Kat, please.
Is it necessary as a business owner to collaborate? Is it necessary for your business? Can you just say, I don't want to collaborate with anyone?
Well, you know, we're all talking about community and collaboration and what we have all gotten from the experience. And I hope that anybody who is watching will walk away with, oh, let me Google what different communities that we can, you know, go to, or go to My Sexy Business and find out more about our community. Because I think that you need you need a community, you need other people. It's very lonely, you know, when you decide to go on your own. And if you can find a community that you can jump into and get involved with, I highly suggest that.
Well, I think also you have to know your why for collaborating with this person. What are both parties going to get out of it? What do you want out of it? And is that agreeable with this person? What does this person want out of it? Is that agreeable with you? So I think that you have to know what it is you're looking for in a collaboration when you're collaborating with someone. And what are you hoping to get out of it? Is it just the experience of collaborating, what it's like? Because I think that's where we all started was, okay, let's try this and see what happens. But I think that the collaboration enriches you as an entrepreneur because you get to know about other people's businesses. You get to know about and not saying that the collaboration is going to go well, because sometimes it doesn't. But if you know what to ask, you know what you want, you're a fierce entrepreneur, then you know what to ask those questions so that you understand what it is you're going to get out of that collaboration.
Honestly, I think the answer to the question is yes, it is necessary, because business is about relationships, right? You're building relationships, networking. There's all sorts of words that represent that, but collaboration is practicing all that and expanding your reach and meeting people and developing relationships. And if you're not willing to do that, then it's going to be hard to do business, to just be behind the scenes all the time. You really have to kind of put yourself out there, and collaboration is one of the biggest ways to do that and to get the results that you want.
Oh, that was a good one, Denise. I like that one.
Did somebody write that down?
It'll be in here. It'll be in here.
But it's about networking. It's about getting out there and finding out what people do. It's getting out and being, what's the word you had, Denise? People-y. You have to be people-y in order to, to collaborate. I think in the beginning of a business, you're trying to get all your systems in place, et cetera. But then at some point, I do understand that collaboration can help, and, that you do need collaboration.
We're talking about all of this, and I'm realizing and that joining a community is collaboration, because you step right into a community. You have to collaborate. You have to be able to, as you said, Kat, network. You have to be able to speak to each other and ask questions. So just being part of a community, I believe, is a great collaboration.
Yeah. Donna, like you with that, it doesn't have to be something big where it's a big project. It's coming to Clubhouse to go to the Not Creepy Room and go practice. And that's collaborating, joining the community. It could be something that you're even just talking to, someone on socials to talk about how you can share each other's information out there and support one of another. Like, it can be small. And then as you grow in your practice, then it just builds your business as well as whoever else you're collaborating with. You just continue to grow.
It could also be having a weekly work session with somebody where both of you come and meet and you each do your individual work. But if you get stuck or you just want to bounce some ideas off of each other, it's nice to have that space where you could do that. Or it could be co-leading a room together where, like, Denise and I co-lead the Not Creepy Room together on Wednesdays. It's nice to have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, that you could talk about things with. You each bring your ideas to the conversation. So there's so many different ways to collaborate. And like I said earlier, this community has helped me see there's not just one way to collaborate. There are so many different ways that I never thought of as collaboration.
And I agree with you, Adam. I think that when you get a collaboration or an opportunity to collaborate, that you could bring it to your community and get more clarity on whether or not you want to walk through that with that person. Okay, I'm done.
She's so happy with herself for tying those two things together. Are you amazing, Kat Crociato? You are freaking fabulous. I think that it's getting to be time where our crazy MCs might join us. So, is
I
anybody else
think the word is rogue.
Yeah.
rogue
Rogue.
MCs? I think it's time for them to come up. That's an homage to Carrie, right? We all should all do that for Carrie.
So I'm just really excited with the way the conversation is going. And let me just tell y'all are doing a rocking job. We don't want this summit to be over until we do some puppy and pony showing off. Yvonne and I are the MCs, so y'all have to tolerate us. But I really think that we need to talk about some things that we were listening to down in the green room. Yvonne and I have been busy in the green room making like trouble and things. We have been instigating things. And yes, we will have a collaboration guide according to Donna Bender's collaboration. We will be having a wonderful collaboration guide before this year is over.
Can I just point out that a collaboration happened right here in real time, which was a brainstorm about collaborating. That's a collaboration, you know? And as I'm sitting here listening to all of you, all the words of wisdom, I'm thinking to myself, it's about the showing up. It's about showing up. And when you show up, relationship happens, and you learn more about yourself, you learn more about others, and that's where it all comes together, where you go farther, faster together.
Yes, and yes. That's what I have to say to that. Fun.
Was that a mic drop?
That was a mic drop. Boom. Okay. So we're going to talk about a collaboration that is going on that this community is supporting. And I'm going to say it's going to be wait for it, a catalyst to help you have a better 2025, because we have something coming up in just a few days with the freaking fabulous Kat Corchado. The icon herself is doing a challenge. And Kat, I would really like for you to take just a minute or so and explain the challenge, because here is living proof, y'all. We all practice all the time to be clearer and to serve well. And Kat not only served in the military, she's a decorated veteran of the Air Force and amazing human. So thank you for wearing the uniform, but also thank you for wearing the Pilates t-shirts, because you've been spanking all of us for a while.
Well, thank you, Kim. It's called the Keep It Moving 11-Minute Fitness Challenge. And it came about from actually was a study that was done on high intensity interval training. And I thought, okay, that's really cool. But then I flipped it and thought, if you're new to fitness, or maybe not so new, you're still working out, how would 11 minutes change your life? Everyone has 11 minutes, because what's the biggest excuse that people have? I don't have time. I'm pretty sure you have 11 minutes. So from January 21st to the 25th, I'm going to be leading some amazing people through an 11-minute workout. And we're just going to have fun. All you need is your body and your spirit. You know, bring your personality, bring your body. You don't need any equipment. It's going to be fun. It's going to be 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can go to smallspacepilates.com/challenge to find out more information. Thank you, Kim.
Can I just say too that I love that it is happening in community. You are giving everybody the chance to come together to get healthier in 11 minutes, and it will change lives. You know, that I heard an interview with the Surgeon General who's been in Vivek Murthy, and I've heard him talk about the loneliness epidemic and what the impact of that is on our health. And his outgoing wish for our nation is that we choose community, and it's about our health. And as entrepreneurs, we need to stay healthy so that we can keep bringing it for other people. His prescription is actually relationships, service, and purpose. And you bringing together people for an 11-minute challenge to stay healthy, Kat, it fits everything right there.
Thank you, Yvonne. I just want to also say that, I have a strict no perfection policy in place. So wear your comfy clothes. Pets are allowed. You'll see my dog coming in and out of the picture. It's okay. Just bring your enthusiasm. I'd love to see you there.
I love it. Thank you, Kat. So another little spicy girl that does a lot of things to help other mamas is also someone who is making serious impact on mamas that are struggling with like postpartum things, and even not. I don't even want to like group it into that anymore, Jill, because it's not just that. It's all kinds of things. Jill's written a book and she's done all kinds of things, but Jill, I think your biggest accomplishment yet is the fact that you started a place for mamas. It's a space and a place that I want you to talk about quickly, that I just want you to give an invitation from the heart.
Yeah. And it's easy to say that after talking about community tonight and all the clarity that came to get me there. But it's a safe space to come together and share your own story. And that's how I started sharing mine, is being in community with others. And when we help others, we help ourselves. So I love that about A Village. And it is open to moms to come and join me once a month, and the other moms that are in the village with us, and just be in a space to, sometimes just vent or just be there while the kids are rambunctious around you, and listening and being in the presence of just other moms who are going through the same stuff.
I wish I had had you in my life when I was going through it with young kids, Jill. And had I only known to embrace community more at that point in my life, I think I would have been a lot better off.
She inspires even us who are past the childbearing ages. So thank you, Jillo.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about someone who is only a few visitors away from 1.5 million visitors in less than 2 years with his entertainment platform, the one, the only interview king we love. That is Adam Rothenberg. That's right. So, Adam, I am going to let you talk too, but I'm going to be pushy tonight. Surprise. Because I don't think people understand sometimes the value of the right kind of entertainment. Like, we can hop on and we can get lost in entertainment, but you provide such a valuable interview experience for so many celebrities, so many stars, so many people from musicians and Broadway. And I mean, I can go on. And Kat and I already decided it's easier to list how many people you don't know than how many you do, because I'm pretty sure Adam knows everybody. But Adam, to impact 1.5 million visitors in such a short time, because they want to know more about what kind of interviews you're doing. You don't do the mean things, and you don't I don't really know what you don't tell secrets that harm people. That's what it is. You do such a good job of behind the curtain stories. So do you want to share a little bit, since I am pushing pretty hard on this one?
I would love to share something, Kim. So I think what you're alluding to is that I do a different kind of interview. I ask the everyday questions that you want to know, but maybe are too afraid to ask. I don't ask the salacious or gossipy questions. I want to get to the heart of the person to figure out what makes them tick. And so I feel like that is what makes my interviews different from other journalists out there. And I will say that I do confidently feel that people enjoy that kind of interview because it's not something that they get everywhere, and they tend to discover new things about the artists that they love through my interviews.
Well, if you want to be the first to know about all the things that Adam does, he is sending out number 77, if I have it right, of the Call Me Adam Digest.
Yes, it's
So,
going out tomorrow morning.
so you better get on the list fast at callmeadam.com if you don't want to miss out and be the last to know. So, thank you, Adam. So, Yvonne Marchese, I believe we are up to the findability queen that we have to talk about, because one of the reasons our Adam Rothenberg was able to hit 1.5 million visitors is due to the fact that we have a queen amongst us who has taught all of us about what the importance of findability is. With, the buzzword is SEO, but the truth is findability is what comes first, and most people I'm going to just say it, Denise, you're going to be mortified, but most people trick people into paying them big bucks because they don't understand this piece. And Denise is out there spreading the news about how to become findable and why it's important, and actually how simple it is. So,
am I supposed to add something there?
you were Yvonne. I thought Yvonne was going to say something, and then
I was confused. I didn't know if we were heading to Denise or if I should, because I do want to say something. Denise has changed the way I podcast. She has changed, for me, my messaging in my business, because she's got me really thinking about how best to serve midlife women and people. Like, really has me thinking about, well, what are the problems they're facing? What are they looking for in searches online? How are they phrasing their questions? What are the things that I think about? I can't sleep in the middle of the night. I'm waking up. How do I stay healthy? Can 11 minutes a day of working out work for me? I don't know. Kat's going to answer that on my next podcast episode. So, she really has me starting to think and try to get into the minds of the people that I'm trying to help. So I thank you for that, Denise. How do you do it? You make it so simple for us non-techie peoples.
Well, thank you for those great, great compliments. I really appreciate that. I spent many years dealing with tech, and I am not the techiest of tech people, but I am pretty knowledgeable about a whole bunch of foundational things, and I've done a lot of things in my career. And I've seen so many people turned off by technology and freak out about it, get stressed about it and anxious. And, people with PhDs and doctors and nurses and, people I've met in my corporate career. And I've always felt like, just speak English, because this industry does not do that well. They do not speak normal words. It's not simplified. It's acronyms, and it's like the more you use, the smarter you are. And so the poor public, people that have never studied this and it wasn't taught to them in school, are just like, they turn off, or the deer in the headlights. And it's not, you can't afford not to use these things in your business. So I feel very passionate about speaking plain language so that everybody can understand, and it's not rocket science. There are some aspects that are simplified, that are simple, that are impactful. So,
don't you have a way to help people in the form of maybe a book?
I do have a book. I do have a book called Be Findable. If they can't find you, they can't do business with you. I also started a YouTube channel recently called at Findability Queen, and you can find that from my website too. And that answers tons of questions about findability and what I mean about it, and hopefully it can, you know, help people along so that they can get started. Thank you.
Great job, Denise Millay. We honor the Queen, or what is it, Your Royal Highness. We thank you for your for your help
Highness,
in
it
all
could
of us.
mostly anything.
Thank you for all you do for all of us. And then we have the famous Donna Bender. Donna, I am gonna giggle because we talked a little bit about this earlier about her ruffling her turkey tail feathers, but we need to explain that, Yvonne, because I will say Donna has found her groove, is what I'm gonna
And
say.
I just want to ask, will the real Donna Bender please stand up? You never really know who's going to show up in Donna's GME segments, who's going to show up in her big show and tell. She brings it with costumes, it's edutainment. She delivers information in such a powerful, fun, easily understandable way when it comes to talking about branded products and how to create relationships with your customers with gifting. And I just want to know, I love that you have made the leap, Donna, to be more yourself, to have more fun doing what you're doing. So what's coming up for you?
I have to get off mute. Well, I have my big show and tell, which is coming up on the 28th of January at 1 p.m. Central. And it is fun, fast, and furious. It's 30 minutes of, conversation, marketing tips, and costumes. But the point that I always like to make is that even if I'm wearing a costume, I still want to put out marketing ideas and tell people about products and why things are important and how to brand their company and the questions to ask when they're buying promotional products. So it is fun. And but there's a lot of information in that 30 minutes. So and you can catch it on my YouTube channel at Donna Bender Giving. And I just would love you to show up.
So let me put this little tidbit out there too. It is Donna Bender who helped us brand with Thermos, with Yeti, with all kinds of big brands, because she understands the branded products and what they do for your brand. So let me just throw that out there too. If you have any branded product questions, you really do want to go to her YouTube channel. You want to contact her, connect with her, because she goes from corporate training to for big sales teams all the way down to entrepreneurs and business owners like us. So there you go, Donna.
Thank you.
And thank you. And I am not going to forget our MC extraordinaire. This was our first MCing together, and I loved it, Yvonne. Let me just say that. But I don't want to forget all the amazing things that you have going on, because you are our not only our friend, our play date, our president of the Age Agitators Club. I'm giggling because you are the reason we all take play more seriously. You are the reason for that.
I love being the reason for that. I am not aging gracefully. I am aging playfully. And I hope that for everybody, because adulting is hard and it doesn't have to be so hard. Play is a state of mind, and it's something that we can bring to our business that's my real goal, is to get away from grinding and into inspired action. And I think that that can be accessed through letting ourselves play more or be more playful about the things that we are trying to do in our business. So it's experimental and it feels like an adventure. Uh-oh, did I freeze?
I wasn't sure if it was you or me, Yvonne. I'm like, oh.
Oh, something. All of a sudden it was like, oh. But yeah, so you can, if anybody is interested in rethinking what it means to age, you can come on over and listen to the Late Bloomer Living podcast, which has a new episode every Wednesday. And join the Age Agitators Club if you want to come and have some fun with us in there, make some waves. It's open for women, and women of any age really can be age agitators. It's never too early to start.
And I've heard the rumor that there's going to be a spinny wheel at the next club meeting, and I can't wait. I just wanted to put that out there. But I am so, so, so proud of all of you for sharing sharing your thoughts about these things, because clarity can come at a high price sometimes, or I really should say lack of clarity can cost you more than you really need to pay when you are not clear and you're struggling. And I feel like this is just a huge, I'm not really sure what to call it, but it's a big caution for anyone on the entrepreneur adventure. Don't underestimate the power of clarity. And I think when you're trying to do something alone and you are lonely, maybe you're not even recognizing it, but it is a lonely thing to not have someone to ask questions or share an experience with or to celebrate with, because I think it's all of those things for community. And then y'all already know we're doing a collaboration guide apparently for the year. Donna Bender is leading that collaboration. But collaboration is something I am obsessed with because I have seen what it can do for your business. I understand it, and I understand the power of it. So don't underestimate you, our Sweet Watcher. We appreciate you being here with us. And I'd like to just go around the stage real quick. Guys, give one or two sentences of last final thoughts for the January 2025 Fierce Entrepreneur Summit. Kat?
I think it was a great conversation. I think all the summits are great conversations. This one was a little fiery, but in a good way. And of course, we've got our community here with us, so it was all good.
Thanks, Kat. Jillo?
I am glad to have been able to participate tonight in this conversation. It always brings more ideas and even clarity to how to go forward from here. So very fun to be a part of it every quarter and recap as well as plan for what's coming up.
Thanks, Jillo. Adam?
I think this was a great conversation, and I just hope that you watching were able to get some ideas, get some understanding about things. And if you're looking for a community, come try us out.
I love it, Adam. Thank you. Denise?
Thank you all for participating in this conversation with us and listening with us. And I think one of the amazing things that come out of these discussions is it makes me speak these thoughts out loud and helps me recognize how truly fortunate I am to have the community that I have and that you all are in my life.
Thank you, Denise. Donna?
Well, I just want to say it was an honor and a privilege to be in this summit with all of you, because I treasure everybody's participation and comments, and I can't wait to see the replay because there was some really valuable nuggets out there. And I would just like to leave everybody with this thought: who will you inspire today?
I love that, Donna Bender. Yvonne Marchese.
Yes, ma'am. Well, first of all, Kim, I want to thank you for holding this space for us quarterly to come here to delve into these conversations, to practice, to collaborate together, to be in community. One of the many things that I've learned from you is the importance of having the systems in place so that one thing leads to another, and that really helps with clarity. And I want to highlight something that Kat brought up in the second half of this, was that being in community can keep you from quitting. So if you are feeling that loneliness in your journey, if you're watching this, even if it's not us, if we're not your flavor, if you're here at the end, maybe we are, but find your community, tap into that, and see where it takes you.
Thank you, Yvonne. I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for watching live. Thank you for watching the replay. Thank you, Kat, Jill, Adam, Denise, Donna, and Yvonne for being incredible humans, first and foremost, and how much I love y'all and appreciate y'all. And Sweet Watcher, if you are ready for the next summit, which will not be until April of 2025, come and join us on the Friday live stream we do. This crew you can see Fridays, 7 a.m. Central on Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Wherever you're watching this live stream, we're there too. We're there with GME, roving reporters, and a lot of rogueness, a lot of hot messness, and it's awesome. So we love y'all, and we can't wait to see you where we see you, as the team tells me all the time. Love y'all.